Inking Our Hero. I'm Peter Pahumas, your Pluralsight instructor. In this module, we're going to be going over how to ink and finalize our hero, ink the key landmarks of our hero, inking the shadows, how to ink the figure, discuss shape and rendering, reverse inking, adding speed lines for motion, and most importantly, remember, everyone, please have fun. Welcome back, everybody. And we are now going to be tackling the process of inking. Remember, inking is its own art form. Here are some of the steps that I take. First thing I do is I lower the pencil opacity pretty much down to 50%. Then I lower the shading to about 30-ish, 40-ish percent. The reason is this allows me to clearly see the digital inking lines that I'm going to be throwing down. Create a new layer, name it inks, and then let's begin. I'm going to be picking roughly about a 10 pixel size brush that will allow me a nice clean line. Here I've settled on about a 9, and I think that this could be a little bit too small, too fine of a point, but we're going to see. The reason why it might be a little bit too fine of a point is, yeah, I could already tell it's not going to work, so I'm going to just push it up to about a 19. When you're inking, you need to be able to have a smooth, clean stroke. So, yes, there's building up of a line to do thick to thin line weights, but there's also the importance of having that nice, smooth, crisp line. Now, as always, I am starting with the face to make sure that I get it exactly right, making sure that it does connect with the viewer. And even though I did say that inking is when things start to get etched in stone, when I ink this, I'm going to be putting in a thing that I know I should be changing, but I'm going to save it for later and make the correction after it's been inked and show how to make the correction while minimizing your amount of work and redrawing or re-inking. Now, my process for inking is pretty much the same as penciling. This first ink layer is going to be the definitive hard black lines that I know no matter what I put down will not be changing. Don't be scared to pull away other layers underneath just to make sure you're hitting all the notes that you need to make sure that the piece works well. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make sure that I get the details that I want right in the face. And you're going to notice that I will be adjusting the brush size from time to time, especially on the face. The face will have finer details, more gentle, minute lines, lines that need to be delicate. Where, let's say, if I was inking the chest right now, it would be a thicker, denser line to show the additional weight that is on that body part. But right now, since I am working on inking the face, I find that the details such as the nose, the lips, the mouth can have a more delicate touch, a more delicate line. And remember, I am throwing down that thick line on the nose. I'm making definitive bits of shading on the lips, not just indications, but even a little bit of line weight. Even though I know I'm going to go in and put in darker, thicker masses of black in later on certain body parts, like I said earlier, I know that in some of these things that I'm inking right now on the face, I can go ahead and fill in the shading because it will allow me to have a much more stronger defined landmark for when I do move forward. Now I'm working on the chin. Remember, this chin is strong, squared, powerful. So I know that a lot of the inking lines that I'm putting down right now can be a little thicker, a little bit more defined, because I know that I am going to definitely need those thick, strong lines for later on. Yet again, keep in mind that all I'm inking right now for the most part are those hard edge lines that are pretty much the basic shapes, just like we did with our penciling process, where we went in, penciled pretty much the entire figure, and then we move forward with the rendering of dropping in all the shadows. I'm going to keep that same process going throughout the inks. Now, over here, yet again, I know I feel comfortable enough dropping in a little bit of that shadow underneath his lip. And I'm going to make a slightly thicker line now as I start dancing around the external shape of his skull and start dropping in the inking lines that I need. This was one of the changes that I did want to make, which was taking out the ears and giving his mask coverage over his ears, just because I kind of feel it keeps a little bit more with the consistency of the rest of his costume. And now I'm just going to keep moving forward, dropping in the inks that I need to take us towards the completion of this project. Now, yet again, this first clip is just of me inking the head and dropping in a little bit of the neck landmarks that I'm going to need later on. Now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, pull away the pencil lines just to make sure that I'm on target for how I want this illustration to look. And so far, the opening of this clip is pretty much where I want it to be. I will be resuming inking the torso in the following clip. I'll see you guys there.